actually, what I want to do is create an audience first. So I'll go to Audience Insights, everyone on Facebook. And so right now, what you have is pretty much everybody who is active on Facebook. Now, that's 200 million to 250 million. You don't want to put an ad out to that many people. Even just that post right there, because what we want to do in this case is go ahead and start defining a group of people that we want to send stuff out to on a consistent basis. So we're going to create an audience of people who we think would be interested in what the page and more importantly the website is about. So United States is great. We're going to just do the United States. Oh, that's just United States. So the 200 million to 250 million active people are in the United States. We're going to do 18 to, I'll say 60. Well, we'll leave it open because I'll show you something else. We're going to go to the interests. Like I said, spiritual development, spiritual growth, personal development, personal growth. We're going to say law of attraction. Law of attraction, new thought. Now, we want to really start with page likes. And we want to see how many of these categories are actually related to law of attraction. And this is pretty much well defined right here. But you really want at least 80% of these different categories to be closely related to law of attraction. And they are. Law of attraction, I don't know what the power is. Let's see. That's a book. At the secret power. So it's related. And I don't know. Book, the secret. So it's really related. I'm not familiar. Oh, that's Rhonda Bird's The Secret Book series. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not familiar with it, but apparently that is very related. Law of attraction, heart centered rebalancing, health and wellness. So that should be just fine. Health and wellness. Dr. Wayne Dyer, law of attraction for sure, for sure. So all 10 of these are relevant, so that's great because you're talking about. Uh, for me, I always look for between 2.5 and 4 million people to start with, or at least to end with, really, depending on whether it's a like campaign or what the specific purpose of the ad is. And so this is good. Now down here, what you have is the affinity, and the affinity means based on the interest you have here, what is the likelihood of that person being relevant to the audience? And all of these is, I mean, wow, I've never seen something like this where everything is so directly related. Look at this, 11.9, 11.9, 11.9, 11. I've never seen that before, honestly. Wow, I've never seen that before. I wonder where's the opposite spectrum. That's not bad. But look, so as you can see, I mean, it's similar to a spreadsheet. You can sort these things by any of these categories. You got to look at the affinity. The higher the affinity, the more likely the people, the audience would be to like your content. But you also have the audience here. And so you see the one with 11.5 affinity has 1.4 million people. And even though the 11.9 affinity is a little bit higher, it only has 64,000 people. So if I was going to plug one of these in that one, you see, that one is for wealth. It's specific, which makes sense why it's a much smaller audience. And this one is the general law of attraction. So we already have law of attraction up here, and I'm sure the law of attraction. It's not going to make it jump too much. Well, it did. 2 million more people. So let's the law of attraction. Oh, that's them. Positive power of positivity. Oh, that's another law of attraction page. So that's for a million though. So with the demographics, now we can see that from 18 to 24 is really low. 6% of the people are basically interested compared to the number of people on Facebook. Now at the 25 to 34 range, 24% of the people that are on Facebook are also interested in that topic. And here, you got a greater percentage of the audience represented by Facebook users. Wow, I had no idea that men were this much more interested in the law of attraction than women. I just thought that we would be much further behind them. Anyway, let's move forward, shall we? So you see where it starts tapering off here, 55 to 64, and of course even more so once you get 65 and plus. So for the ad, I mean, really doesn't matter how you want to do it. I mean, this is pretty strong. Law of attraction is pretty strong base, but I'm going to make it from 20. I mean, because you also want to consider, well, this is actually going to be for page likes. Let me tell you something. These people, it's a good audience. I'm going to leave it at 18. Now I'm going to go up to 21. I'm going to go up to 21. And I'm going to go to 64. Because what's going to happen, let me explain what's going to happen. The more relevant you can make the ad, which means the better you define the audience, then the cheaper your ads are going to be. Now, if I include the fringe people in my audience that I'm going to run stuff to, that means that a higher number of people will see the ad and not respond to it, which means at the end of the day, the cost of running the ad, no matter what it is going to be higher. So it's not like I'm discounting those people as in, I'm not interested in reaching them or I don't, you know, it's just really now you're talking about a money thing. And and so that's why I'm supposed to be doing this to do it the most efficient way possible. And so I have to take that into consideration, especially. But even with my own stuff, of course, it's a factor. Once you get to the place where money's not a factor, then you can just try your best to include anybody who might possibly have a slight interest. It's the same thing as spending money in traditional advertisement, which traditional advertisement can't top this because you can do so much targeting. But traditional advertisement, a lot of the advertisement goes out to people. It's spent reaching people that has no interest in what you're advertising. But in many ways, you can't control that in traditional advertising. Here, you can, and that's the main reason of using something like this is because you can. Okay, let me move on, you guys. I get to going with this, but notice that you can do the same thing when it comes to location. So we can see here, I can sort this by the percentage of people on Facebook who are interested. New York has the highest concentration. Then LA. Then Chicago. Basically the largest cities, of course, makes a little sense. But you look at this stuff is very interesting. You can mess around and spend days on it. New York, LA, Chicago, Houston, San Diego, San Antonio, then Phoenix. And I would have thought Phoenix would have been higher than a lot of those places. But then again, Phoenix, you have a lot of elderly people too, so you got to take that into consideration. So now, what I could do, and this is what you want to look for here. Now, see, Chicago is up here, but Chicago has a high population. But as you can see over here, comparatively, trying to drill this in, really you want to look at how the blue and the gray matches each other. If this was if the gray was all the way out here and the blue is way down here, you kind of like wasting your time marketing to that group. But again, I mean Atlanta, I'm surprised Atlanta is that way. With this, I would just go with it. I would just go with it. So I would keep all of that wide open. And a lot of this other stuff I don't really look at other than being nosy and everything. But depending on what you're doing, it could be very useful. As you see here, it says retail spending, online purchases. This could be very relevant. Online purchases. But again, with this, it's very high. You come down here though, and it does tell you purchase behavior. So when you talk about these online purchases, here you can see what are the most common purchases. Because it might give you other ideas: food and drink, subscription, health and beauty. Food and drink seems to be at the top of a lot of different things you look at. Subscription services. And that's real good to see. 59%, more than half of the elected audience. Because they're spending money, that's a lot of times money that's not necessary to be spent, but they're spending it. This tells you that these people will spend money, you know? So that's looking good. We're going to move forward right here because there's no need to just keep dragging this on. But I will show you some more things. This is going to be a like campaign. And since this is a like campaign, then here you see people connected to, and you can put your page. And then you see people not connected to your page. So in this case, I would say not connected to, where is it? Well-being addict. Oh, it's listed as a place. So so you see, this is going to be sent out. Well, this audience is going to be people who are not connected to well-being addict, which means they haven't liked the page yet, which makes sense. Or you could create an audience of people who are connected to your page. And the same thing we could do with location. You can exclude locations. Exclude locations. I could say, for instance, I could say not North Carolina, exclude North Carolina. Or I could say exclude Greensboro, North Carolina. And so maybe it's going to be one situation for people all across the country, but then for the local people in Greensboro, it's going to be a different deal. Like if I was putting out a product or something, maybe it has to be shipped to other places, and in Greensboro they can come pick it up. So that could be very useful depending on what you're doing. Exclusion location. It's going to be the same for everyone in the United States. And that's it. We're ready to go. What else? Well, I'm going to show you this right here. So language, English, United States is probably going to be the case anyway. Relationship status, you see, you can look at that. Single, in a relationship. Say you had a uh, marriage counseling, then you only want to market to married people. Well, it depends on you. Single people are going to get married, so it all depends on where you are and what you're trying to do. Education, you're going to market something going for people going to grad school. Well, there's no need to market it to the grad school people. So you want to limit the education to college and high school. Maybe it's specific to their job title or whether they have a home office, a small office, corporation. Maybe their income matters. Maybe their ethnicity matters. Parents, parents. That tells you the age of the kids. But I mean, you see, you can just go through all of this stuff. I'm mess around, click something, and leave it there. Trying to show y'all. But you can click through all of this stuff, and really, that's what I always tell people. See this? Life events, away from family, away from hometown, long distance, new job. Device owners, this right here is depends on what kind of mobile device they have. You can limit that. Maybe you're advertising the app for Androids or specifically for iPhone users. Then you don't want to reach both of them. You know, it's gonna cost you more money to be in front of an audience to which the ad is irrelevant for. Categories. What's these other close friends of people with a birthday? Wow. So you might have the perfect birthday gift. Run the ad to close friends of people with a birthday within 7 days and within 7 to 30 days. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. If you're not using Facebook, well, I don't know, but that's why I'm trying to show you that you need to be using Facebook. All right, so now what you want to do is you want to save your audience. I don't know why it always does this. You usually have to save it twice. Click save twice. And we want to name it something relevant. So this is Law of Attraction US 18, wait, 21 to where did we go to? Oh, I can't move it. You remember what it was? 21 to 60? Oh, 21 to 35. Oh, that's something else. Oh, I haven't gotten there yet. 21 to 60. 21 to 65, man. What we're going to do is create an ad. We're going to use the Power Editor.